to our webinar by Skill Valley only for you. This is your host and friend Ria. So, do you guys want to give a try to product based companies and don't know how? Want to know how to scoot your way to a company? The answer is right here. Meet our guest for today, whose list of achievements is just uncountable. He's currently working as a software engineer at PhonePe. He is an ex-SGE at Amazon, a CCD SAP Foundation certified competitive coder. He is also the CEO of Litmus Organization LPU, Mr. Harsh Srivastava. Hello, sir.
Hello Ria and hello everyone. And first of all, I would like to thanks Skill Valley for inviting me to this particular session so that I can guide my juniors or my batchmates so that they can get into a product-based company.
It's our pleasure to have you. So, how are you doing, sir?
I am fine, and how are you?
I'm doing great. So let's just start by something very basic. I would love to know about your journey. I mean, from 11s to mains, then your life in college. Now you work at WordFix. You were also an SGE at Amazon. Now you're working at PhonePe. It's a very colorful journey that I see. So I definitely love to know more about it, and so will the audience. So please share about it.
Okay, so firstly, I will introduce myself. Hello everyone, myself Harsh Srivastava, and I have graduated from Lovely Professional University in 2021 only, and I have done two internship in two big companies. First one is Whatfix for 6 months, and the second one is Amazon, and I got a PPO from Amazon too. Then currently I am working in PhonePe as a software engineer one. So talking about my starting of journey, this coding journey and all the things which I have started. When I was there in my 11th standard, I was not having any subjects related to computer science because we have an extra subject that is physical education, not a computer science. So I was not from a background of computer science and engineering where we know about the C++ language or coding or something. We just know about the physics, chemistry, and math. And I was quite good at that particular three subjects. And I have scored 92% in my 12th standards from CBSE board. So after passing my 12th, I was dreaming to get in a company like Google, Facebook, or something. But I don't know about computer and that much, so I will not be able to get in. And then I decided to move towards defense, and because it was asking for leadership principle and something, and I was very good at leadership and also mathematics. So I was trying to go get into a defense background. I have tried for NDA. I have cleared NDA thrice, and I have appeared for the SSB interview. I was conference out on the last day of SSB, the fifth day. So so this was my journey. I have tried for NDA for again 2 years, and I have appeared for the so many Air Force exams, so many Navy exams. But unfortunately, I was getting out of the interview at the last day or something. So I was not able to get into a defense background, and I have taken a leave for 1 year. Like after 12th, I have taken a gap for 1 year, and I have was preparing for defense only. But in February, when I got to know that I am not my chance are over for the NDA, so I decided to. So I was thinking like where I should go, and because I don't want to waste my next year, and I don't want to pursue any BSc degree or BA degree because I know that is just for preparing into a government job, and I don't want to do that. So I thought I came to know about the LPU and its scholarship things that that Lovely is going to take about a exam that is LPU Nest, and on behalf of that, the scoring marks of that particular thing, they are going to give us the scholarship on their tuition fees. So I get to know about the LPU Nest. I appeared for the LPU Nest, and I have scored more than 80% in that, and I have got a scholarship of 1,30,000. So after that, I have joined Lovely by hand. For see, I have chosen the background of computer science and engineering. It was just because I was not aware about any concept, and I was eagerly waiting to learn about computer science and different coding languages. So I thought that it should be a great start, so that I will go with the computer science and engineering branch. But in my first semester, when I came to know about the C language, and it was quite hard for me because I was not aware about the syntax and even the simple logics. I was aware about the mathematics concept and everything. So I decided to quit CSC branch and move towards mechanical branch in my first semester. But then I met one of my friend in my college that his name is Ustav Sen, and then he has motivated me and he has given me a guidance how to tackle a real life problem, how to see a real life problem, and it can be coded with a particular number of lines. A set of lines will do that particular thing in an automatic way. So I got little bit interested, and then I started doing some research on it, and I started listening all the videos which will tell us about the syntax and different things that we can learn in C language. Then I came, then every day I was solving so many problems on different coding platforms, and then I came get efficiently get my hands on efficient on C language only. Then I decided not to quit the CSC branch. Then again in the second semester I got to know about the C++ language, which is quite similar to C language. So I decided, because C++ is well known for the coding and its syntax are quite easy rather than C language, because C language is syntax are quite large. So I decided to stick on C++ language. It's because it was easy. So I was learning C++ and I have made some projects in C++ in my semester. And then this is how I came to know about the coding languages. Then in my third semester, I came to know about the Python. And then my fourth semester, I came to know about the Java. But in all the four languages, the C++ was my favorite. And it was quite easy. And I was totally efficient in that particular language. So in my up to my fourth semester, I was not knowing about the concept of competitive programming, which will let us to enter a product-based company, because I was just aiming for a normal average package, some Cognizant or Accenture type package, so that I can get into that, and I will get placed by the end of my BTech degree. But yes, then I came up with the concept of competitive programming, and like what are the benefits when we are good at competitive programming, that we are going to get a good job at product based company like Amazon, Facebook, Google. So it attracted me. So in April 2019, I start in my fourth semester, end of fourth semester, I started doing CP, because before that I just know about the brute force concept, because I was good at mathematics. So I was aware that I can solve any problem with the use of math on some brute force approach. But after that, when I came to know about the competitive programming, I just started to watch so many YouTube channels, watch so many, learn so many algorithms, and learn different data structures that we have, and start practicing on different platforms like HackerEarth, HackerRank, CodeSafe, CodeForces, and these all things we are going to I have practiced on. Till now, if I will tell you about my achievement, I have solved more than 3,500 plus questions on all the coding platforms, like 3,500 plus questions on all the coding platforms. This is my achievement in competitive programming. And talking about going in this journey only, then I have started doing competitive programming from the basic questions that we have on HackerEarth, on CodeForces. Then I came to know about a CCD SAP degree, that certification that CodeSafe is going to provide, that is in the level of three different parts, that is foundation, advanced, and expert. So I decided to prepare myself for the foundation one, and then I paid for that particular thing. So it was a 3 hours contest, and in which there are five questions, and we have to score at least three, so to get past that particular certification. So in the starting of that particular 3 hours, it was hard for me, because I was not that much practice. But in the middle of that particular 3 hours, I solved four out of five questions, and I was cleared that certification. Then then this journey continues, and I was continuously practicing my competitive programming, and was doing only that thing. I was missing my classes also. I don't used to go to some boring classes or something. I used to sit in a library and used to do coding and giving contests. So this was how I was preparing at that time. But in January, in our sixth semester, we our placement got started, and we got started sitting in some companies like Infineon or Joes or JustPay. Then I was not getting. I was rejected in the first nine companies, just because I was not aware about the advanced concept in competitive programming, because I have not read those topics like graph. and link list. So I decided to not to try for company. Firstly, prepare for those company, and then try for other companies. So I have prepared it for 2 months, all the graph and all the advanced concept that every competitive programming programmer should know about. So I have prepared all those things. Then in July, Whatfix came on Campus Drive, and its LPA is 13. So I got a chance to sit in that particular drive, and my CV was got shortlisted out of 700 students. So 80 got appeared, and then I was only three got selected at the last, and I was in between that 3%. And I want to say in this Whatfix now, they just ask you about the puzzles and basically the graph question. Even the online round will consist of graph. So this is how got an internship offer from Whatfix. Then again, after getting an offer from Whatfix, I was still preparing for Amazon because I was aware that Amazon is going to visit our campus in September or October month. So I have to get myself prepared for that particular thing. So I was preparing for during my internship also. I was giving contests regularly, contests on Code Forces, and I was preparing myself for Amazon. So in September, when Amazon arises in our on-campus drive, so I have appeared for the online test and then cleared it, and then I have appeared for the two interview rounds and I have cleared it, and I got an offer from Amazon as a SD intern for 6 months. So this is how I got placed in a Amazon, a FANG-based company. But in up till December, I was continuing my Whatfix internship. From January onwards, I have left Whatfix and I have joined Amazon as a SD intern. In my Amazon, till April, I was just working silently on my projects and different things. But at the end of April, I just thought that I should not get totally dependent on Amazon PPU only. I should try because there are so many offers I can openings there are I can see on the LinkedIn, and I thought that I should also apply for those companies. And then I came to know about the PhonePe in April. So in April, I got see in PhonePe. I will tell you the hard thing is to get a referral from anyone because in PhonePe, the mostly no person is going to give you a referral if you are not that much good in system design or something. So they have reviewed my CV and they have given me the referral. And then after 2 months, I got a test link from the PhonePe that they are moving ahead with my application. And then they are sending me a test link, and I have to appear for that test link. Then I have appeared for those test link, and I have cleared. I have scored 100%. And then I have appeared for 2 rounds of coding, 2 rounds of interview, and then I have cleared all those, and I got an PPO offer from PhonePe as a SD1. And at the same time, I got an offer from Amazon too, but I decided after thinking, I decided to move towards PhonePe only. So this is how my overall journey. And so over to you, Ria.
I must say it's a wonderful journey that I think of, and getting a bumpy ride from getting rejected to getting a job and getting internship back to back. It's a wonderful thing. So now that we're talking about getting jobs and finding your way to your dream company, so what are the basic mistakes, or what are the basic things or domains or topics that a candidate normally overlook, thinking we don't need this for an interview, and which are important to us? So what are those things which a candidate normally overlooks but are important?
Okay. So talking about those important topics which usually student miss is, we can say this. See, firstly, the CS fundamentals. I will talk about the CS fundamentals. So usually the students of a BTech CSC, even me too, was not giving so much attention to CS fundamental during our semester when we have that subject in our semesters like DBMS, operating system, or computer networks. So these subjects we think that these subjects are not going to be that much important for us, so we are not going to give that much attention to it because we know if we are no we know about the codings and different data structure, we will surely get placed. But this is the mistake that mainly the student did, because so many companies like big product based company, even Amazon, PhonePe, Facebook, Google will ask you in one of full one round will be there for CS fundamental only. They will ask you question based on operating system, different scheduling algorithms, different diskette scheduling algorithm, different deadlock principles, and everything, and about computer networks, that OSI model, different protocols. And then in DBMS, they will ask you to write query. They will ask you about the normalization. So these topics usually students miss because they are getting bored in these topics. But these are quite important for us because as we are going to move towards SD2 now from SD1, then it's very important for us to know about the CS fundamental also, because if you are not going to get know about the CS fundamental now, then we are not going to take care about the complexity and the frugality concept in the companies. So this is quite important for us, which company looks in the product-based company interviews. And talking about the coding part, usually student like if we placement is coming after 2 months now, student start preparing from the lead code or GFG. I will not say that they are not good; they are good, but you should to solve like not only the standard question. You should to solve some general question where you get the intention how that problem will get solved, because the lead code and GFG will contains mostly the standard question, which I think that question may going to be asked by the interviewer or may not going to be asked. Their variation is going to be asked. So these are all the things that students have to keep in their mind, and then they have to go for any interview, and they will surely crack this.
So it's like going and exploring everything rather than thinking, okay, this will be coming. So now that I found out, I read about you, I found out that you have a great knowledge in data structures, and believe me, it's a nightmare for many CS students because it's like it's so tough, and when it comes to advanced algorithm, it just gets way too foggy. So any special tips that you would like to give for them to prepare it or make it easy for them? Is there any way to make an ease of it?
Okay, firstly, I will tell every student not to just remove your habit to give up, because I have seen so many friends also, so many juniors who just started coding by getting an interest and then was not able to solve question, and they just give up that particular part, and they just give up the computer programming, and they say like this computer programming is not made for me. See, every time even a top coder of Code Forces, the international grandmaster now, sometimes when he started now, he's also a noob, but he continuously practiced that particular thing. When you are going to give up now, then you are not going to get anything. Even you have given you 1 year and then we are going to give up now, then whole 1 year that you have given to computer programming is going to be a waste for you only. That are not going to be helpful. So I will just say every student like not start doing some easy questions firstly to get some more confidence on you that you know the data structure concept and you know the brute force approach. First try solving any question by brute force in the starting, so that if a brute force will get passed na, some test cases will give you time limit exceeded because of the optimization, but don't worry about that really, because in the starting you just need to get intention that you are going to think about any problem in a brute force approach. If the brute force is possible now, then only you are going to optimize that particular code by seeing the constraint. So these things that student should do. And also like what I suggest, I have also tried this in the starting. See, if you are going to, if you have tried decided that today you will solve 10 questions, then I will say solve at least 2 to 3 easy questions in the beginning first, because that if you are going to directly solve a medium question or some high level question and you are not going to get a solution to it, you will surely get demotivated that you are not having any concept on data structure or competitive programming. But after solving 2 to 3 questions, you are totally confident. Yes, I know the concept. If this question is not going to be solved, I will see the tutorial. I will ask some seniors, or I will see some YouTube videos, and I will surely get particular. I will surely get this question solved. But I will not leave this question. So these things that students should can try, because this will help them to not to get demotivated and not to give up. So these things we can follow.
I somehow will. I totally agree to this 2 to 3 easy question scenario because I think that it helps you develop confidence somehow. So it's a great advice. Thank you so much. So another thing that I have been listening and you also said is competitive coding. It's a very hyped topic nowadays. So I would love to know more about it. That how much companies are looking for it and how much importance does it have according to interview, and how much does it help to a candidate?
Okay. Talking about competitive programming is just solving a real life problem. You have given a real life scenario where a particular salesman has to deliver a particular stuff, and we have to give him the shortest path where what he should follow, and so that the distance that he should cover is minimum. So these kinds of problem that we see in our real life problem, like everyone is just using a ATM card to dispense cash from the ATM machine. But as if anyone has thought, why if we enter a 2005, like if you want to get money 25,000 rupees, then how the ATM will decide how many 500 rupees note you have to give, that ATM machine has to give, how many 2000 rupees note the ATM machine has to give you, how many 500 rupees note that 100 rupees note that ATM machine should give you. So how the ATM machine is deciding this? There must be some logic behind that. So these logics are going to be a part of competitive programming only, where where you are going to be solve a real life problem. You are given a real life scenario that, huh, these things are we are going to think of. When I have got an idea and I have to code this particular thing. So these things, the competitive programming came into existence. And talking about the importance of competitive programming, I will say it's the main heart of a product-based company. If you want to get into a product-based company, we definitely know about the competitive programming, and we have to be good, not a average person. We have to be good at that particular concept. If we are not good, just brace yourself and do much more competitive programming. Practice yourself and do code forces, code safe, and practice yourself and get hands-on competitive programming. So this thing we can follow, say for competitive programming. And talking about the product-based interview, like I have seen so many companies which generally which is survey-based company, which does not ask that much competitive programming. They ask simple data structure question, and they are just eagerly waiting to know about the project that you have done as a personal project in your college. So they are waiting for they are searching for a development skill in your particular thing. But product based company is not searching for a developer. They are searching for a coder, a thinker that can think of a solution for a real life problem. And this thinking can be developed only with doing with the competitive programming. So this is the importance that I can say.
Thank you so much. Now, for the people who are actually planning for a product-based company, should know that competitive coding is important to them. So, apart from competitive coding, what are the main domains that a company right now is looking for in their candidates? So what are the major traits that they are finding in the participants or the candidates that apply for interviews?
Okay, talking about my interview experience only, I will say, as I will tell you about all the three interviews that, not three, I have PPO from two, three other companies too, but I will not talk about that. So talking about these three company only, like as in Whatfix only, I have got an, like I was there, selected with for the first round of interview, and there are three technical interview rounds, and in each round there are some particular sets of topic going to be asked. Like in the first round, they are going to be judge me on my advanced concept of DSA and competitive programming, and some Java OOPS concept. And in my second, they are going to be judged on my puzzle solving skills. They simply ask me some puzzle. And on in the third technical round, they just simply asked me about my projects that I have did in my college, and about the technologies that uh, i I was knowing at that particular time. So they are just giving a turn to my situation on which I have made the project, and they are just asking for a solution from my side, that how I will tackle if this particular scenario will be given to me. So these things, I will say, like a company is looking for a overall achiever. Like if a person is good at competitive programming, if a person is good at DSA, if a person is good at system design also, if a person is good at CS fundamental, these things the company is looking for. So I will just say, like, be yourself. Don't panic. Like placements are coming and you are not aware about the CS fundamental, and you are not aware about the system design. See, system design is not that much easy, because you have to give a lot of time to system design, and we have to know about the CS fundamental also, and also the different software engineering SRS techniques. So these things that are needed for the system design. So I will say a fresher, just leave this system design. If you have time, just get a hands-on system design by watching some of the YouTube videos that we have on YouTube. for some famous channel like Yogita Sharma or Gaurav Sen Bhaiya. So this channel we can use for system design. But for CS fundamental, there are so many YouTubers who have made a roadmap for all these CS fundamental subjects like DBMS, networks, or anything. So you can follow those two and get a hands-on CS fundamental too. Because see, companies, if the company is not going to judge you on the competitive programming skills only. They are going to have 2 or 3 rounds of interview. The first 2 rounds will be like DSA based. Then the last round definitely will be on the CS fundamental, and you have to be aware about the CS fundamental too. Then only you are going to prepare for this. Even I have seen so many companies who reject some persons in the HR round also, because their attitude towards the company, or their we can say that their communication skills are not that much good. So these all things are matters, like your communication skills, your confidence matters there. You don't have to be nervous, you don't get panic if you are getting a unknown question at the first time, and you are getting panic. Yeah, yeah, I will not solve this. So these things the company is not looking for. They are looking for a passionate learner. So these things I will say.
Yeah, means every round is like, checking every aspect that you have learned throughout this journey. So this is something to note down for everyone who's, looking for a job. So okay, another thing that as I heard from you, you have done 2 internships as well. So I would love to know, is there a judging criteria that this internship is going to help my CV and this one's not useful enough, or there's no such criteria and it's like all that you need is getting experience out of it?
So, talking about internship for a fresher now, I will suggest don't look for wait and look for a product-based company internship only. If you are getting an internship offer, just grab that offer and just start getting into a development side. If you are getting a hands-on development side now and tech-based industry, then that particular internship experience is also going to help you to get an offer of internship only from a product based company like Amazon or something, because they are also looking for a learner who also already knows some about the development, how the industry development is going on. So like I will suggest the students not to wait for a product based company. If you are getting an internship offer, just grab that offer, start with the internship. In between, if you are getting another offer for an internship, just if you are ready to switch that particular company, just switch to that company, and this knowledge that you have learned in the past company will be useful for you in the next company only.
Uh, Thank you so much for that advice. Now, I would love to say something that whenever it comes to practicing coding, many CSC students, leave it in the middle, thinking that it's not my cup of tea. And as you said, now it's been a taboo that if you can't code or you can code, and if you have already prior knowledge of coding. So as you said that while in plus 2 you had no idea about coding, so how to develop this habit of coding? Is there any tip or is there any particular way you can follow, or how should we, as a CSC student, get this coding in as a cup of tea, let's just say that?
Okay, I will say this. Like I will suggest, firstly, the students should know about the reason why they are going to do this particular thing. Just not following others that a whole group are doing this, so I will also do this. So I will suggest student not to follow other thing, like just to get yourself a reason that why you are going to start with the competitive programming. So that reason is going to help you to get in a particular interest, that we should do this because we have to get into a product based company. So firstly you should know about the region. You should not blindly follow someone that this particular guy is doing CP, so I should also do, because I know so many person are there who just doing CP for their fun. Like they are not going to, they are even, you also know that Eric To, he is very great coder, but he is not going to placement for that particular thing, because he likes that doing particular competitive programming. So if you are also following that particular thing, then it may be not helpful for you. So just get yourself a reason why you are going to start competitive programming, and that particular reason is going to help you keeping motivated throughout your whole journey. So like talking about my start only, In the starting, I was not able to solve even the brute force approach question. I was taking help from others. I was getting some intention, was developing some intention from others. But like if we start with the slow thing now, slow speed, that doesn't mean you are not good enough. That means you are learning slowly. But it's sometimes possible that in the middle or in the last, you are going to be the topmost person which is running with the fastest speed. Because see, the speed is going to be gradually increased, not from the starting point. That speed is going to be increased in the middle point also. But I will suggest student, just keep practicing. Don't give up something. Like if you are not getting a solution for a particular question, don't give up. Just see the tutorial for that particular question. Learn about the new technique. How what are the techniques that use in that particular question, and then just move on to other question. Because just try to get yourself interested in computer programming, because you have to give more than 5 to 6 hours or 7 hours daily for getting into a product based company, because otherwise you are not going to cover that much vast syllabus in such a short period of time if a person is in third year or fourth year. So I will suggest this to all my like juniors or even my seniors too.
That is a wonderful advice, I must say, because at times I would myself feel that I am way too running behind, and I am just like in this year, and I need to sit for placements next. So thank you so much for this wonderful advice. Now, there's always one doubt in every CS students, or even any person who's sitting for an interview, how to know that this job is right for me, or how to choose the dream job that you are. So is there any way of finding out, or is it going to come inside from yourself, or it's like, what is the way to find out that dream job for you?
Okay, see, talking about a dream job, everyone has a dream. If talking about a computer science student now, only some of the student will go move to some UPSC, some government job background, or some of was having interest in photography or some other field. But mostly talking of 50 to 60, 60 to 70% students are waiting for getting a job in a product based company. Their dream job is to get a product based company job, a software developer tag of a product based company, so that they will develop themselves, they will develop their skills, they by having a huge package also for money. So this I will say the money factor will quite attract people to get into a product based company and to think of a product based company as a dream job. But there are so many companies which will not give you that much package. But that company is quite good, and their reputation is also good, and you are going to get a lot of learning from those companies like Joho and Hasdin. You are going to get a lot of learning from these companies. Even the package is not that much high, but the company's reputation is that much good. So see, I will suggest student, in the if you are fresher, don't just think that you are good at CPA, then you should to start with the a good product based company and should not start with a startup, because if you are going to start with a startup, it will give a bad impact on your profile. It will not give you a bad impact, because as much as you are going to learn, that as much you are going to grow, and that this particular experience is going to help you into a product based company only, because these experiences is not going to get waste, because everyone is looking for an experienced person. If you are getting a job in a Google, and if Google know that you are 4 month 1 year experience, and if they are a fresher, so he will definitely think of you, because you are 1 year experience and you know about the industry level things and techniques that are going to be used during the development. So he will definitely try to choose you. So these things will help you if you are. I will tell everyone should have a dream job in their mind, but thinking about that dream job is not good. I got according to me, that is not feasible for you only and for your future. Sometimes you keep waiting for that company, that test link will arrive, and so many jobs will get opening will get over, and then you are not going to get a test link, and then you got disappointed, and then started thinking I will not do CP, and I will leave this CP. Even I have seen so many students who are doing code forces, and they are just like after getting an increase in the rating, they are getting decreased, and they are getting demotivated. That no, I will not do this thing because the rating is getting lost, and I will this will be a bad impact on my profile. So I will say, don't. try to make a good profile, but don't run behind the profile only. Just run behind the knowledge, as you are a fresher. Because as you are a fresher, no industry is going to get pay you in attention if you are not experienced one. If experience doesn't matter, if you are working as a freelancer also, na, that is also an experience that product based company is looking for, because they are looking for a person who is passionate learner and a good developer. They are not looking for a person that this particular person came from Amazon, so I should hire him directly without having any interview. If you are coming from a Google also na, and going to a startup, they will also take two rounds of interview as the same they will take with the fresher one, because the rounds of interview and their ethics are same. They are, because their selection criteria is same. They are just going to judge you in that particular rounds only. So these things will I will suggest everyone to keep in their mind and start practicing for their job. Firstly, try to get a job. Start with the doing development. If you want to work as a freelancer, that is also good. Try to increase your network so that you can get a good hands-on good projects, and you are going to get connected with some good companies. And I will suggest a student to be active on LinkedIn, because so many job openings are going to be there going to appear in LinkedIn, and they are going to filled in within 1 day, 2 day. So try to be active on LinkedIn. Try to log in LinkedIn in your mobile or laptop once a day or twice a day. That will be enough for you. We are going to scroll all the posts, and if you are going to get a post which is suitable for your job, for your preference, then you should apply for that job. And if you are fit for that job, you will definitely get a link, and then if you are past that round, you will definitely get an interview, and you will definitely get selected. So these things the students should keep in mind. Talking about the off campus and on campus, there are so many difference in this. On campus, I will suggest on campus are quite easy. If you are in a college where companies do visits, so try to take offer from on campus, because the company is going to visit only you only, and even you are not going to get burden of this, that you have to be share your CV, then you have to wait for 2 months, then link will arrive, then you have to again wait for 1 week or even 1 month also for getting a result for the online test, then getting a result for the interview round, and then getting the full and final round. So these things was quite need some patience, and this patience is required for the off campus one. But in on campus, mostly the company finish their process within 1 week. Mostly the 1 week is required for finishing any process for a company on campus. So I will suggest to the student, if you are in a good college or any tier 3 college, so try to grab the on campus opportunity that you are getting. Don't run behind the off campus product based company opportunity. Try it for those, but don't leave those particular offers from on campus that you are getting, because that might be a good start with you. Then only after getting that job, you can try for other product based company. I will suggest this. So that's all the.
Now, I must say this is a wonderful advice, because it's always a thing choosing on campus or off campus. So thanks for adding that to this whole session as well. So now that we are talking about interviews and job offers and everything, everyone is nowadays looking for a platform that can, teach how these interview and job preparation, how to work with it, how to get tips. So is there anything that you would like to give as a tip, means from where did you prepare, or anything for the audience that from where they can prepare?
Okay. Talking about the teaching platforms, I will say there are so many teaching platforms that all the students should have already known about. That Coding Ninja, Coding Blocks, Skill Valley, Programming Pathshala, or so many platforms are there where the students are getting taught by some teacher, or they are just taking a course. And they, because see, I will suggest student to take a course if they need a well structured format, and they don't want to do a self, like if you are not going to take a course now, then you have to do some research, a lot of research on YouTube, on Google, that which topic should even you should to talk to so many batchmates, so many seniors, that which topic you should concentrate, and how many problems you should solve on any topic. And these all the things that are needed when you are not going to take a course. But when you are going to take a course, it's very easy, because you are going to get a well structured format. So I will suggest student, if you are preparing, if you are fresher and you are not having that much time, and you are not having that much guidance also from your senior, so try to take any course from any of the platforms like Coding Ninja, Coding Blog, Skill Valley, Programming Pathsala, and so many courses are there. Even so many, I will suggest so many YouTube channels are also there, like Striver Bhaiya channel, like Take You Forward, or Code and Code, the Vakar Bhaiya channel, and also I will suggest Love Babbar Bhaiya. So these channels you should follow. Like I have also followed these channels only. Code and Code, they Take You Forward, they Love Babbar Bhaiya seat. So I have followed these things to get into a product based company, because I have not taken any course because at my time the courses were too high, and even the students are not. We have a lot of time, so students are not that much interested in taking any course, because they knew that they will explore their self only. Because nowadays, if you are in third year or fourth year, you are not having that much time. So I will suggest students to go with the should not leave this dream for getting into a product based company. They should just start taking a course from different reputed organizations like Skill Valley, Coding Block, Coding Ninja, Programming Pathsala. These all the courses are very good for them, and they are totally well structured. That student don't need to worry about that there some topic are going to be missed or not, because that particular syllabus is going to be maintained by a industry experts only, and they know what are the things that company is going to be asked. So these things I will suggest a student, if you are having not if you are not having that much time and guidance, so try to go with the course. Or if you are having that much time and you have a exploration power and you want to explore it on yourself, then try to go with the YouTube, the Coursera courses, or different courses and different seniors via that you can connect. That's it, Ria.
That is a great advice, and that's wonderful because it's kind of tough, for people to realize which way to go and how to prepare for their interviews. So that is a wonderful advice from your side. So now we are ready to take questions from the audience and find out what they have to ask you. So, is there anyone? Please raise your hands and be ready to ask your questions to Mr. Hirsch. So, yeah, yeah, Anushka.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I am fine, Anushka, and how are you?
I'm fine too, sir. It was very great to hear you sharing all your advice very honestly, and it was really helpful to me also. One thing which I want to ask you about your project, like how did you get your ideas to prepare your project in your third year or fourth year? So, what kind of project you made, or from where you did you get the idea for your project for the company's interviews and all?
Okay, honestly speaking, I don't have that much big projects. Everyone is having some projects in their semester as a subject curriculum. So you need to make some project in C language. You need to some projects in C++. You need to build some static website in HTML or CSS when you are going to be taught HTML or CSS. You need to build some Python using Python project using GUI or Tkinter. So you need to build some project using Java. So these all projects even I was having one digital project that was Arduino basis. So I was having some projects that I have built in my semester, but that was good. That was on the real life scenario, and I was uh, coding that particular thing. But that is not up to that much extent on which industry is looking for. If you are but I will suggest student, if you are learning a topic now, just if you think about any idea that this particular topic can be used for solving for making this particular project, so try to use that particular knowledge of that particular technology. Because see, if you are learning a technology and you are making a project on it now, that will be quite impressing for you in the CV also, when you are going to tell it to the interviewer that is going to be interview you, because he know, yes, you have learned this particular technology and you have worked on a project on this. So it will be like you are having a industry experience on this particular technology, and you are good to go with this technology in the development side. So this will be helpful for you, and you are going to the interviewer will get impressed by these things. And this thing will you should continue for your whole life only. But when you are there in the company, you are not going to get that much time when you are going to work on your personal project because you are having already having a big projects in your company. So try to learn from technologies from those topics only. And as I will talking about myself, I have learned about the Selenium in my WordFix, the first internship that I have did. And for that Selenium now, I have this Selenium is used for automating any site, automating things that you are going to do. So this Selenium I have used, and I have made a project that is known as Code Board, and this Code Board is going to automate all the coding platforms work that we are going to do. Like if you want to log in into a Hackathon, just provide us your username and password, and we are going to launch Chrome, and we are going to log in it, and you are going to get a compiler open for you. So these things, I have made a project that is named with the code board, and it was appraised by so many teachers in my college also. So these things will be like quite helpful for you. You should also take care of this, Anushka.
So thank you so much for your wonderful answer. Like I was looking for, everyone is right now amazed to know that which kind of product, sorry, project we should go for, or are projects even helpful or not. So thank you so much for your wonderful answer. I really appreciate your all the learnings and exploration you did in your 4 years. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Anushka.
Thank you so much. We have another Mr. Nitik Narang. Please.
Hello,
Okay.
I'm audible.
Yeah.
First of all, good evening, sir. Basically, I'm going to be in my fourth year now, and I've solved some questions over GFG and lead code. So basically, as you mentioned that in interview, some like on GFG and lead code, there are some typical questions. So what kind of questions should be practiced, like for DP graphs, trees, and binary search? These kinds of topics.
Okay, for these topics now, I will suggest you start doing code forces or hacker earth. Because see, in hacker earth we are having a section which is just a tag where a tag is binary search, and we are going to get questions that are usually based on binary search only on the basis of different levels. Firstly very easy, then medium, then hard. It will help you on when you are going to do on hacker earth. And the same thing I will tell you, do start doing on code forces and CSCS. See, if you are going to do it on code forces now, it will be helpful for you only, because there are so many filters that you can apply. Even you can apply the rating will go from 800 to 2700, and you are going to filter about the tags, that if you want to solve a DP question which is easy, so you should apply a tag of DP in the topic, and the rating will be like 1100 to 1200, and then you will get a list of questions that are based on in that particular rating range, and then you can solve those things. So after having a hands on all the 12 DP question up to 1200, you can increase your limit up to 1300. Then you start solving all these questions which are up to 1300 rating in code forces, and that are based on the DP. So these things will help you to clear all the topics, like even with the graph also, even with the binary search, and even with any of the topics that you can apply with the filters. Code forces is quite helpful. Even it's having so many questions on math which is quite rated with the 800 or 900. I will suggest the people to start with those 800 and 900 rated question in the starting, so that you can get to know about the different intention that are involved in the code forces. And the main thing, that the main idea I will suggest you why you should start doing code forces, that will help you to increase your speed, because as you are going to sit for an interview, the online round now, there will be a short period of time only, and in that short period of time only, you are going to get a two question or three question or five question also in 1 hour or 2 hours. So these things you have to solve, and you have to increase your speed. So I will suggest a student to give the short period of time contest, like as we have on code forces or something. So try doing this, and for interview preparation you can consider lead code or GFG. I will tell this.
Okay, like as you mentioned, like for coding rounds, the code forces is very important, and for the interviews, GFG and lead code is important.
Okay,
Okay.
I will suggest this, and if you want, I can share you my code forces handle also. You can look for the questions that I have solved, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
also solve those.
Please do, please.
I will write that
That will
thing in
help.
my I will write that thing in my chat.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Mr. Abhijit Mohanty, you may ask your question.
Hello,
Hello.
good evening, sir. So, my name is Abhijit Manti, and I'm in second year. So, my question is regarding internships off campus and on campus. So, how do we get to know through LinkedIn only, or
I will suggest talking about the off-campus opportunity, right?
yes, sir. So if some product-based companies which do not come to the college like
Oh,
that.
okay, got it. Firstly, Ria, I am not able to send any message. It's saying like fail to send. So can you look into this? Now I am able to send it. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, actually, it was logged. Yeah, now you can.
Okay, sure. Um, sure. Talking about your question, buddy, I will tell for off-campus opportunity, just try maintaining your LinkedIn profile first. Try to switch to profile like open to recruiter or something. Try to connect with different companies, recruiter or HR or talent acquisition team, so that you will get to know about the different openings that are going to be there in the companies. Try to ask your senior when this company is going to hire or not, because even your senior is going to well known about the timings when this any company is going to hire or not. So that will be quite helpful for you, I will say. And firstly, try to keep patience in you, because off campus opportunity is not this like if you are going to, if you have applied today, you will get a call tomorrow for online test, and then day after tomorrow you will get your interview clears, and you will go after the next day, after the day after tomorrow, you are going to get your offer. This 4 day this off campus opportunity is not 4 day process. Even I am getting link now also, which for those companies which I have applied for before 2 months. So this type of patience you should have in you. And also LinkedIn is the best source, which I will say. Just try connecting with the recruiters, your senior bhaiya of different try connecting with the SD1 of different companies, the product companies that you are dreaming of. And try connecting with the different like a person that usually post about the different recruiters like Ars Goel or different Somajit Bhattacharya bhaiya. So you can prefer them.
Okay, so thank you, sir.
It's okay.
Yes, Mr. Evan Livingston, you may ask your question.
So am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Oh, so I would like to thank you very much for the nice presentation. Actually, it is a very good motivation for some people, like some of us. So actually, I have one doubt because actually, me personally, I am taking a course, but it is not related to computer science. But because I love computer science, I'm doing as like I'm taking YouTube channels. I'm doing some programming alongside my course. So with time, if I manage to get a proper certification, like from some good website, I don't know if how possible is it for you to get placement without a computer science degree? Is it possible?
Okay. Firstly, I will say having a degree is not that much enough. We are having so many people who are just having a computer science degree, and it doesn't mean they are having a good knowledge of computer science or different coding languages. If you are trying to take some courses, I will suggest go with the there are some nano degrees courses on Udemy. You can go with them. They will surely guide you in a industry expert level to for some topics, like if you are interested in data science, if you are interested in Android, or if you are interested in competitive programming, or if you are interested in web development. They surely will guide you throughout the process, and will make you an industry expert in that particular domain. So this nano degree you can look for. Also there are some Coursera courses which will let you to do specialization in different things, like web development and different tech stack that we have. Even you can go with the AWS also, because see, you if you are not having a degree, that doesn't mean you are not having a knowledge. this will not help you to land into a product based company or land to get a good job. If you are going to get hands on this particular thing and you are going to put these things in your CV now, definitely you will going to get shortlisted and you are going to get a call for interview.
Thank you very much.
Mm. Thank you.
Okay, before taking another question, I would like to say now you can use the link in the chat box. It's working now. So, okay. Miss Priyanka Mandal, you can ask your question.
Hello, sir. Sir, I wanted to ask that what are some tips you can give to non-CSC guys? For example, throughout our engineering, we are not studying core CSC concepts. So, like, how to get grasp over that? Like, only competitive programming won't be like helpful to get placement in the companies. So,
Okay, for non CSC students, I will suggest if you are having an interest in coding and you also want to get into a product based company now, just leave the CS fundamental first. Leave the core concept that we as a CSC student have will have subjects in our semesters. Leave those things. Just get yourself interested in competitive program coding concept, some basic languages that you should know, like I think if you are from mechanical engineering you are also aware about the Python language. If you are from electronics, you electronics and communication, you should know about the C++ language, and these languages will also help you to do competitive programming. So you should know firstly the how the for loop is there, how the if else case is there, what are the syntax, different syntax that we have, what are the different libraries that we have, what are the different data structures that we have. So these things I will suggest, like you should firstly get a hands on at one coding question that you have, one coding languages that you know. Then after that try doing questions on these things. Don't worry about the CS fundamental concept, because we also as a CS student now will not learn in our semester. We are not paying attention to that, and we are forgetting each and every CS fundamental concept that we have learned. But we are just remembering all those concepts in just 1 month or more than 20 to 30 days, by watching all the YouTube videos, all the resources that we have on YouTube by different bhaiya, the different roadmap that we have for CS fundamental, like computer networks, DBMS we have. So these things we can follow for CS fundamental, because CS fundamental concept you are going to get hands on it in 1 month only. But coding is not totally based on 1 month practice. It's based on 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, based on your intention and your particular interest in that particular thing. So I will suggest for a CST student not to worry about the CS fundamental subject that we read as a CST student. Just try paying attention to like coding part, the competitive programming. Make yourself good at competitive programming, because you if you are going to get into a product based company, you should know about the competitive programming. And if you are good with the development, then I will suggest if go with some good service based company also, which offers a good package, so you can go with them too. And but when you are prepared with your competitive programming and with coding concept, then you can look to the computer science fundamental things that we have, because that things can be covered within 1 month. I am definitely sure, because I also covered these things, and I'm also a noob in these particular things. So I will say this. Am I answered your question, Priyanka?
yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, here comes the last question to you from. Okay, so Mr. Anup Pandey, you may ask your question.
I think he is speaking on mute. Nope, are you mute?
No
Mm,
problem. Let's start with me. Thanks, Hers, for joining in again, and it was a really great presentation from your side. Basically, like my question is, we belong from a tier three cities, and that too with a tier three college. And when we reach experts on a LinkedIn profile for you can say a referral program or even for a mentorship. So for a guys as like we invite, like how do we get a referral? But for the audience aspect, those who are new to LinkedIn, and those who wants to get a referral program. So what should be the strategy, like अगर मुझे किसी से referral लेना है तो what should be my strategy to get a referral? Like मैं नहीं जानता हर्ष को कि कौन है, और मैं सीधा अगर हर्ष को डीएम करूँ कि यार हर्ष मुझे रेफरल चाहिए, तो हर्ष will deny that. But how will I make that possible? What should I include in CV? What should I include in my message on a LinkedIn?
Firstly, talking about my case, I will not deny any message. I will definitely reply. It may be possible reply will come after 1 day or 2 day, but definitely reply will come. And talking about your case, how you should approach a person for getting a referral. Uh, See, if that's what I said in the starting also, try to get your internship first. Like it doesn't mean that internship will be product based company internship or service based company internship. That internship should let you learn about some industry technologies that are going to be used nowadays. So because those technologies tags now that are going to be help you, the if everyone is going, if you are going to ask someone the referral, definitely don't just that person, if that person sees your message, that person is going to ask you your resume, and then he's going to see your resume once. And if that person is like can see those technologies on which their company is working on, and those technologies are mentioned in those resume, he definitely give you referral. I am surely about this because I also got this thing, all the referrals from LinkedIn only by having these things, because I was very expert in AWS because I have done an internship in Amazon, and I was for a whole 6 months I was working on AWS only. So I was so much good at AWS, and AWS was quite used technologies on all the companies. So everyone was ready to give me referral. Hello. Okay. Huh. So I will tell. Okay, I will tell.
Yeah, please
Just try
continue.
to get your resume. Firstly, make your resume attractive. Like mention all the technologies, the tech that you know in a tag wise. Like, and prepare a cover letter also for yourself. Because if you are messaging someone like this, hey, hello, I got to know about the opening in this, and can you refer me for those position, and this is my CV. Definitely, that person is going to deny you, because that person is not having that much interest in you, that they are going to see your CV or resume, and then they are going to respond you. Because many person I have also got to like I have also experienced this thing during my off campus opportunity. Just prepare a cover letter for yourself, and make that cover letter in a like I will say formal letter, and in a general way, that if you just need to change about the company name and the person name, and just copy paste that particular cover letter to other person if you are asking for a referral. So that cover letter should be well formatted, and it should contains a point structured format. Like you should also write a heading. You should write a heading that skill set that you have, and then you are going to explain each skill set that you have in a point wise. That person is going to read only those points basis, not other than any paragraph or something. And after reading all those points, now they are going to definitely refer you. Those points are quite impressive for, and they are going to present yourself on that particular chat. You are not going to speak, your points are going to be speak, your cover letter is going to speak on behalf of you. So I will tell, just try to make a cover letter for that. Try to just connect with all the different good companies recruiter. Try to connect with different SDE, because see, if you are getting get to know about this, Amazon is hiring, and then you are going to search for the Amazon company, and then search in the people section, and then started sending request to every person. Then it may be possible that on that particular day no person is going to respond you, or no person is going to accept your referral, accept your request. So it may be possible. It will take a time. Increase your connections, increase your connections bandwidth, increase your network bandwidth, and try to have a good people's connection in your network. That if a particular openings is coming, you should get to know about those particular things. You should not miss those posts, because if you are having a good connection now, then only mutual to mutual connections will can look to those posts if they are openings or not. That will be helpful for you. Try to make connections in each and every product company. That doesn't mean if they are openings or not. Try to make connection. That connections might be helpful. Try to ask them not only for try to message them not only for the referral. Try to message them for asking some doubt, like you having any in your CV, or what are the tech stack that that particular company is using, and what are the timings that company is going to hire or not. So these things you can ask. So these things will let that particular person know, huh, this particular Vanda is interested, and if there is opening, if he will ask, I will definitely refer that particular person. And in this way, you are going to get yourself a good, having a good network bandwidth. And in the, even now, I am having so many different connections in all the companies, and I will ask for referral in any company, and I will definitely get for sure because I am having that much connections, and this will help for you. So I think I have answered your question,
Thanks.
buddy.
थैंक्स सर एंड लाइक एक छोटी सी रिक्वेस्ट थी इफ पॉसिबल लाइक जितनी भी ऑडियंस है एंड इफ यू गाइस आर ऑन लिंक्डइन डू चेक हर्स प्रोफाइल एंड if it's compatible for hers to share the CV like because when we go into interview of a product based companies your CV should be ATS verified, so I know the CV of hers is ATS verified and you guys can see the like how the your CV should be there. So yeah, hers if possible let us our audience to check your CV if possible.
Okay, sure. I think I have already shared it. I was already uploaded it in my LinkedIn profile. You can download it from there. The my
Yeah,
latest CV. You can do
thanks.
visit that, and you can also make that. And for the template, I will suggest the template that I have used. You can also make follow that template, and that template is available on the Nova resume. You can go with Nova resume, and you can make your you can get that template, and you can make yourself.
Thanks Harsh.
Thanks, Ayush.
Okay, so I guess that would be that would be all for our. Okay, so Mr. Umang Banerjee, you can ask your question.
Yeah, Bhaiya, first of all, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I was asking that as a beginner, we should approach in building a network or we should go for internships.
You should go for internship first. If you are getting an internship offer in your on campus, you should go for it. Don't go for off campus opportunity first, because off campus might be time taking and you will get demotivated. That off campus is not made for you, and if on campus is missed, you are not going to get a job for whole life. So I will say, if you are getting a like internship offer on campus, you should go for it. And if you are from a tier 3 company, tier 3 college, and you are not getting any company in your college, so try to look for off campus opportunity. There are so many openings for interns for 2022 batch now. I think FarmPay and Cisco and Optium and Cast 24, they are hiring for interns only. So you can look for them, and you can get internship offer from them if you are fitted.
Thank you
Because
very much.
as I am also from tier 3 college, and but my college have so many companies which visits our campus. But I will suggest, like, this tag of tier 3 college is not, don't take care about this. This tag is just only up to that when you are not going to get a placement, get a PPO offer. Till then, this tag is there. After this, the tag is over, and no one is going to judge you on the basis of tier 3 or tier 1.
Uh, Hello.
Hello.
Uh, Actually, I have done my BTech. Then I have during my BTech, I have focused on Java.
Okay.
Firstly, I have done my training in core Java. Then during the second half, I have learned advanced Java. Then
Okay.
I want to work from home. I'm feeling comfortable from work from home uh, due to rising of COVID-19. Then उसके लिए मैं थोड़ी मेरी प्रॉब्लम भी है तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं मुझे घर पे प्रोजेक्ट्स मिल जाए उसके बजाय कि मैं कहीं बाहर जाऊँ.
Okay.
So so what is the solution?
Okay. Firstly, I will tell you, like, when you are there in office now, that might be very helpful for you. Like,
Hmm.
everyone will think of work from home, but work from home now will like, for this work from home, if you are having any doubt, or you should, for my personal experience, I will say, I was there in Amazon, and if I was stuck at particular doubt, and I have to wait for reply from my senior for more than 2 days also. So
Hmm.
that is quite a long time. So I will suggest if you're the, if and at the same time, and when I was there at the office, I can definitely move to my seniors, and I can ask my doubt. So these things, there the difference is there in the working time also, and in working culture also. If, even in work from home, everyone is not available at every time, but in work office, everyone is available at office time, so you can reach out to anyone. And talking about your thing that you are talking about is freelancing. You are
Mm.
very good at Java and advanced Java concept, and you want to work as a freelancer. Then you
Yes.
can go with the like you can ask your friends which are working as a developer in different companies. If they are
Yes.
having they get to know about any projects, if any person is asked building any project and they need a front end developer, or any person is bringing any web develop any project or any website and they need a back end developer, then they definitely will share their number to you, share their number to them, and then they will contact you and they will tell you about their requirement, and then you can connect for you as per your requirements. So these things, like you also connect with different SD1 or different. You should ask them that this I am this and I have this particular technology knowledge, and I am looking for a freelancing approach. So kindly,
Mm-hmm.
if you get to know about any projects that need my help, do let me know. So these things will help you to get good hands on good number of the projects from as a freelancer. I will suggest
Okay.
this.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are at the end of our session and the Q&A round. Thank you so much. And if any questions not yet unheard, please do follow Mr. Harsh, and he's definitely going to answer your questions there. So because
Definitely.
of lack of time, we're going to have and to end the session. And I know there are so many more queries from everyone. So we are definitely
Uh,
he will be answering
Ria,
you.
just try to
Yeah.
take question of Anup. I think he has raised his hand from the starting only. So if time is there,
Okay.
try to take
So
question of Anup.
that
Hi,
would
good
be
evening.
yeah.
Uh,
Sure.
Hello, Anup.
I am Anup from Chancellor Academy, sir.
Okay,
Sir, I have Python as additional subject in 12th,
okay,
and it is my weakest part.
okay,
So please show me a path to build it.
okay. You have interest in Python or not?
Sir, interest तो है.
Interest है. So I will suggest there are so many YouTube channels. Like I will tell you the name of those channels. Like Telescope. I will share the name in the chat. Just a second. It's not allowing me to write. Yeah, it's not allowing. No, it's allowed. You can follow this channel. It's having a 6 hours YouTube video for whole Python course from scratch. If a person doesn't know about simply variables now, and even what is Python and what are the different like when it is developed, this channel, this particular channel is going to help with that particular thing. It's having a Python video, Python playlist, which is of 6 hours. You can go with that, and it will help you definitely. Even my bhaiya has also used this video to get hands on Python, so this video is quite helpful for you. And if you are in 12th now, don't worry about that much language. Just get yourself pass out from the 12th, because if you are appearing for the J mains also, you are not going to get Python as a subject in J mains. So don't worry about it. Just pass it, and then after passing it, if you are not having that much interest, move to C++, which is quite easy and quite better. So that will be helpful for you.
Sir, I am appearing for NDA.
Okay, you are appearing for NDA. I also appeared for NDA thrice. Like
Sir, please provide some tips regarding
uh,
NDA
I will say
because
in 12th you are like I must if you are solving RD Sharma or not.
yes, sir, I am solving. I am also
Okay,
solving Pathfinder.
okay, RD Sharma is quite enough only. I will say, because I have also solved RD Sharma, and I have scored like 90% marks in mathematics. So it was because there are so many questions which are direct from RD Sharma only. I have not solved any other books or something. The Pathfinder that you are saying, I have just solved RD Sharma for my 12th, and that is quite helpful for me for getting cleared the NDA part. And talking about the GK, don't ever worry about it. Just go and just try to focus on the mathematics part, because as you are from PCM side, you should to focus on mathematics, and yeah, that mathematics is also scoring only. because GK might not be scoring because every 11 or 12 standard student will not have that much interest in GK or something. So I will suggest this.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
So that will be all for today. Thank you so much, Harsh, for being here and teaching us so much, informing us so much. A wonderful and informative event from you. Thank you so much for being here. That was great to have you.
Thanks, Ria, and thanks Skill Valley team for inviting me to this particular session. And it was very interesting to talking about these juniors and guiding them. And if I will suggest them, if they have any doubt, they can connect me on Instagram or LinkedIn. And I will if they have done any doubt, they can message me. If the reply can delay, but definitely the reply will come.
Great. So be there and definitely follow him on LinkedIn and Instagram. And if there any doubt, he's definitely ready to answer. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. And it was great having you.
Okay. Bye everyone. Bye Ria. Bye Ayos. Bye everyone.
Okay. Hello, guys. Wait a minute and